Hi gardeners, I'm leaving my garden. I am taking a much needed vacation, first one in a few years honestly, and leaving my garden in the hands of my husband who really has no experience with gardens. We'll see how this goes. But I have been doing a lot to prepare for me being gone for 10 days. Taking a little bit of a scan around, a quick tour, and doing some prep work. And we'll see how much it changes when I get back, if it's still alive. Now, my husband will follow instructions very well. He's very good at following whatever instructions I give him. My concern is it is height of pest and disease season, and he just doesn't have the experience to notice when something's wrong. That's what happens when you don't go out to harvest cherry tomatoes in a few days. These are a little bit on the smaller side, but if I left them while I was gone, you can see they're already starting to spread out a little bit. They probably would have gone to seed because it's almost July and I don't know how they haven't gone to seed already, but you can kind of see a little bit of that yellowing on there. You can see a little bit better on that one. That's because the sun touched these just a little bit, so they're not quite as bright white as you would expect, but they'll still taste fine. Why, hello, beautiful. Oh, so sad. I'm gonna miss these in their prime. They'll probably be wilted when I come back. Make this quick because you've all seen it before, but green bean arch, fully recovering from Japanese beetle damage and picking up production now that it's not so stressed out. Lots in here. We'll see how many my husband misses while I'm gone because they do like to hide. My squash got hit by vine borers and a type of fungus blight that is new to the area and was absolutely decimated. I fell behind on my squash vine borer prevention and injecting with BT because I've been extremely busy with work, and you should have seen them last week. Yeah, they look a lot smaller than they did now, but you should have seen them a few days ago before I started trying to prune back and make things recover. It was just yellow and covered in powdery mildew and fungus and rough. So I did a big pruning, did some BT injections, did some spraying, did some clean out, and they are actually starting to look really healthy again. Much smaller, but they're bouncing back. You can really see how much smaller they are over here. This used to be spilling out into the walkway, and I did lose some plants. I couldn't save all of them, but luckily I planted 2 of pretty much every type, so I have backups. Even that one's looking better, and that was where this blight all started. I planted another eggplant because I had the space after harvesting some cauliflower, and I had a lone eggplant that didn't have a home that was outgrowing its pot. So planted another one. I did start some more squash just in case I got hit with some bad luck, which I did. So I planted that all up and got these new beds filled with dirt and prepped. I also threw some peppers in there, but they're too tiny to see. Tomatoes, doing great as always. I found a slew, I mean thousands of army worm caterpillars all over my tomato plants one day. They weren't there the day before, so I clipped off the severely damaged leaves and sprayed with BT, and there's not a caterpillar to be found. I also found my first hornworm, but it was super, super, super tiny. I found it on accident, but good thing I found it when it was small. Finally got all the peas ripped out. The heat finally did them in, and I was able to take down the chicken wire that was right here and have better access to my tomatoes. The new garden beds are full and have some more squash planted. I'll go into detail about those some other time if you would wish. And that is a banana melon, the only seed I could ever get to germinate for a banana melon, so fingers crossed it does well. Got some little peppers in there as well. We'll see how this goes from now until 10 days from now when I come back. All the corn has been pulled up or cut down. I was honestly shocked to find at the base of almost every corn stalk were tiny little corns that had actually been pollinated, even though the tassels were not producing any pollen. I did sow some honeydew seeds where the corn was, fill up this bed. That's a watermelon vine going through it. This watermelon is so close to ready, this sugar baby, but I'm not going to pick it before I go. I'm going to have my husband keep a close eye on it. Hopefully it's okay, because the last one I picked, which I thought was ready, was still too early, so fingers crossed. Loofah everywhere. Seriously, it's everywhere. Same with the ridge gourd. And to think, some of these have only been growing for like a week and a half. So they grow fast. My stick of a cherry tree is starting to grow some branches now. Before it was just like that little bit right there. So it's growing, and now that the Japanese beetles are pretty much gone, I don't have to keep it covered. Second try hopefully goes a little bit better. We got some watermelons in this tangled up mess. This was the orange tender sweet watermelon. A lovely corner of tropical ginger. My torch ginger lily, stunning as always. Oh, I'm so glad she bloomed before I left. And the Siam tulip, which is, I can't pronounce its full name right now, but it's also a type of ginger, is doing beautiful. Holy sunflower. That thing just kind of popped up overnight. I'm so sad I missed it. Every single bloom on this thing bloomed yesterday while I was working 8.5 hours of overtime and didn't set foot outside. So I didn't get to see all the pretty blooms, but you can see all the spent blooms that happened yesterday. Hopefully some of them turn into fruit. And the chocolate cherry sunflowers have bloomed. It's really blown out because it's so bright out. But this thing is gorgeous. Maybe you can see a little bit better over here on this smaller one. There's a little bee helping out. So pretty. And they are just lining my front door. It's beautiful. This was that Stevens cranberry I just got. And it's got 2 little cute cranberries. The heavy rain we had was not forgiving on my artichoke. Looks like it's a goner. Again, I swear I can't grow artichokes to save my life. Oh, it's a hidden plumera flower. This thing has grown so much. It's starting to branch out as well. It was just 3 stalks when I got it. Now each of its 3 stalks has 3 stalks. Just a little scan through the flower bed. It's been an extremely hot week so far. We went from torrential rains to extremely hot. So some things are suffering a little bit, but we still have some lovely color. Don't mind that I'm absolutely filthy and disgusting right now, but thanks for joining. We shall see how this looks in 10 days. Fingers crossed. I've never left my garden for this long, but gotta have faith in the husband. He'll do okay. Until next time, or 10 days from now. See you later.